All right, the last new feature that I wanted to go over today in this training is our newly released integrated data view. So this is the general file structure or form structure for the new V5 version of VectorSurv. You'll see that the integrated data view is shown along with all of our manage pages. So if you want to manage your mosquito collection records, you can also view that in our integrated data view. And it's also an option here on this far left-hand side. So what is the integrated data view? Again, I'm going to reference you to our documentation, which can be found by clicking the help or the question mark here, and it'll open up our documentation for exactly what the integrated data view is. The idea behind the integrated data view is it's supposed to be one location that will allow you to view all of the different data elements that might be relevant to your agency in one place. It will do that both in a table view where you'll be able to see, based on the data type you have selected, a full listing of all of the data elements based on what you have put into the filters, as well as a map view where you can see the geographic locations where you might be completing service visits, where you might be completing mosquito collections, where you might be doing where your pools might be coming from, and then where pesticide applications might be occurring. And having this one integrated view then can really help agencies as they try to make decisions for maybe we need to be doing more pesticide applications. And you can see the geographic location where you have positive pools versus where you have done pesticide applications to know like, okay, maybe we need to be doing additional pesticide applications here. We have a positive pool that doesn't have any associated uh, pesticide application records. So let's go back to the data view. So you'll notice here that there are kind of two different sections on the integrated data view. One is a listing of data based on the data type you have selected here. So we currently have four different data types: service visits, arthropod collections, arthropod pools, and pesticide application records. In the future, we'll also be adding in the tick collections and the other associated data that's currently in VectorSurv, but this is what we have ready and are ready to release. So based on the data you have selected here, you'll have a table of that data as well as the data will present on a map view. You're able to subset this data or filter the data by clicking this little gear here, this settings option, and then it will allow you to select or deselect certain data elements. So maybe you just want to see your arthropod pools. You can just select arthropod pools, and it'll just show you those options, those data records, both on the table and on the map. So let's go back to the complete view. So I'm going to go through each of these different types of data elements. So first is the service visits. The service visits are shown here in brown with the little house icon on here. On the left, you'll be able to see all of the service visits that have been created in the system. This is in our development environment, so we have a lot of fake service visits in here right now. But you'll be able to see the ones that have been flagged as an example. So these are the ones that might be of particular concern, like the one that we created earlier in the training. As well as when you click on them, it'll bring up a little bit of additional information about those data records. So here's the service visit that we created earlier that has the associated application records and inspection records. All of these data elements are also searchable based on the data that's presented in the table. So if you wanted to just search for the service visits that I personally have completed, you could search for your name here as the respondent, and then the table and the map will filter just to show the data that you have been involved with. Again, with Arthropod Collections, it will be these blue mosquito records here. So you'll see, there's this little mosquito emoticon here, and the data will be presented in this table view as well. When you click on the little mosquito, it'll bring up some additional information about like what's the collection record number, what date was it collected, what was the trap type, things like that. If you click edit or view, it will also open up that specific mosquito arthropod collection record in a form where you'll be able to edit and then save the record. If you notice, maybe this is in the wrong location or this is the wrong trap type based on the location. That will be helpful. And again, these are searchable based on the types of data that are shown in the table. So if you search for GRV, that's our shorthand for gravid, it'll filter the maps to only show the gravid arthropod collections. The next data element here is Arthropod Pools. And for this one, I'm just going to change the configuration a little bit by only having Arthropod Pools selected here. Now the map will filter to only show arthropod collections. You can also change the size of the map in the table by using this slider. And you can easily change the map view to show all of the pools that have been entered into the system and that are on the map by selecting this button here. It'll like zoom the map to automatically show the relevant data types that you have selected here. So the arthropod pools are these little vials. So that makes sense. The vials are what is being submitted to the laboratory for pathogen testing. You'll notice here that when the pools are clustered, there might be a red ring around that specific geographic location. That's a visual indicator to you that there is a positive mosquito pool in this cluster of data. So let's click on this specific cluster, and you'll see that there's a couple of different subscripts that go on each of these emoticons. So if it doesn't have a subscript at all, like it doesn't have a little indicator here, that means it's a mosquito pool that hasn't yet been tested for any pathogens. So maybe they're created, they might be sitting in your freezer, but we haven't actually gotten around to testing them for any pathogens here. So those might be helpful to you, but maybe they're cluttering the map. So for the arthropod pools, we have some additional data filtering here where you can filter the data just to show the positive pools, to just show the positive or negative pools, all of the tested pools, or all pools. So if you select all the tested pools, that specific one that has been untested will go away. The question mark one here indicates that the pool has been tested, but it doesn't have a negative or a positive result. Maybe it's inconclusive for some reason, or it's the test result is marked as pending. This could happen if there's any like kind of contamination at the laboratory, where the pool was tested, but we don't have a definitive result for it. So you can click into here and it'll give you some more specific information, but the question mark is indicating that this is either a pending or inconclusive result. Green, that's great. This means this pool is negative. There was no pathogens detected when this mosquito pool was tested. So that's why it's green. And lastly, red. So the red plus sign, that's indicating that the mosquito pool was tested and it came back positive for a specific pathogen. And that would obviously be something of concern where you might want to be going out and doing additional collections, additional mosquito pool testing, additional pesticide applications to control that pathogen that's in the environment. One last other thing I wanted to show is that when pools are do this correctly. When mosquito pools are clustered here, you'll notice that little lines get drawn or little polygons, like this, this weird polygon underneath gets shown. That's showing the points that are represented within that cluster. So when you click into here, that polygon that was shown now shows the edges of where the mosquito pools that are represented in that cluster were shown. And the last data type that is shown on the integrated data view is pesticide applications. So pesticide applications are green. If they are, and I'm going to filter the data again just to show the applications. If the applications are done over a specific spatial feature, like the polygon that we drew earlier for like a specific pesticide application, that polygon will show here in green. If it's a one-off pesticide, if it's a one-off pesticide application, it will show the data just either in a cluster view here, like this one was done all at the same specific location. So I'm going to change this to the 17th and update the data. And if it's just one specific pesticide application, then it will show this green, hand sprayer. And by clicking into it, again, it'll show some more specific information, and you're also able to edit. By click edit, it'll open up a form where you can edit the data for that underlying, pesticide application. So that's the integrated data view. We hope that this is going to be a great tool for you all to be able to see all of the relevant data in one specific location.